Okay, on the sad side of things, the Vintage Theater closed after 5 years in business. That was a tough one because the year before, New Vision's studio had closed, which had which was a place where people could go and not only display art and things, but there were also a lot of art events, poetry readings and theater events and things like that. I mean, it is kind of living on, the Vintage is kind of living on in a way, because Connor, who ran the Vintage, is also doing the Scranton Fringe Festival, which is coming next year.
Yeah, I think they're doing all the announcements and stuff. I don't even know if we're supposed to announce it, but I think they're doing all the announcements first week of February.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen, and I don't know the month that it's going to be. I'm thinking September or October of 2015 is when they're going to do it. Which should be a really cool weekend.
Yeah, well, we're already signed on as a media sponsor, so I'm really interested to see.
I think Connor has told me I have to do stuff for it, so I don't know to what capacity, but I think Connor's like, you're helping.
That happens to you a lot.
Me?
Yeah, you're told
where
what
people
to do.
are just say you're going to help me with this.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Is it Catholic guilt?
It could be.
I don't know. I don't know why I do that.
I'm going to say something very inappropriate to you once the microphones are off.
Oh, no. Say it inappropriate
No,
now.
I can't do that.
Why?
So, what is this about the moonshine?
What? Seriously?
Oh, she did that to you.
Really?
It was purchased by this businessman, I hear.
You will not tell me, will you?
No,
it's not happening.
it's not going to
Why?
happen. It's inappropriate.
Well, I mean, it can't be that inappropriate.
It is.
Like, how inappropriate?
It's on several levels, actually. Now that
Like, am I going to
think
get
about it.
scolded?
A little bit.
But that's not inappropriate. That's appropriate.
It is the way that I'm going to put it.
My mother used to tell all my teachers to hit me. You know what I mean? So I can handle anything. My mom will even come down sometimes when I have clients here and tell them to hit me. Like, so I can handle it if you're going to say it. If you want to hold on to it, you can hold on.
I'm going to hold on.
All right, if you want to hold on, but see, you brought it up and people are going to want to know.
Yep.
Well, they can comment then.
What did Lauren say?
Because I'm going to say it after this is over.
She said that my naked silhouette is disgusting. That's what she said. I don't know. I always imagine like gauging like my health. Like Jimmy's silhouette would be absolutely awesome.
Why?
Because I think you look like that boxer meme.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you ever see the guy
The
who's
guy?
like? Do you ever see the guy who's like push-ups? You mean Earth Downs?
Yeah.
Like that guy.
Right.
Like Jimmy. Like when Jimmy flexes, like he's got the build of like a turn of the century like bare knuckle brawler.
So he just needs a handlebar mustache.
That's all, Jimmy.
I can't grow a mustache.
Jimmy.
Let's get you one.
Okay, I'll try it on.
I can't grow facial hair either.
Now it's official.
I went
Y'all
to
are
an ugly
coming over
sweater
for
party
New
once,
Year's.
and I had to dye the peach hair that did grow in with just for men, so it became visible.
Otherwise, it just looked.
It
You had to
it's-
catch it in the
it's
right
skin
light.
color.
Yeah, you had to catch it in the right light. It
Or
had to be
touch it.
backlit.
Or just touch it to know it was there.
You seriously just for men?
Oh yeah, I have a couple pictures around. I'll have to show you sometime.
Did you look like
It was disgusting.
Did you look like when kids would dress up as like the tramp for Halloween?
No, I just looked like a creepy guy.
Oh my god!
It just was creepy.
You're the only guy that's ever just for men his face.
Just to go to a party.
What was it? A Halloween party?
Ugly sweater party.
What's that have to do with your face?
Because I wanted the beard to match my sweater.
What's so ugly about a beard, Jimmy?
It just doesn't look good on me.
What kind
It
of
was
sweater
ugly
was
to
it?
me. It was like probably one of the ones that I wore in the Christmas video or something, but I just thought it would look nice with a beard. I don't know why. I just tried it.
You were just it was 2:00 in the afternoon. You're like, you know what's missing?
Yeah, I stopped at Rite Aid after work and grabbed
Just for men
Just
for my
for Men.
face.
dark brown.
You know that they make specifically the little comb.
Yeah, I think I used that, but I don't know if the hairs on my face were long enough to comb at that point.
Oh my god!
Took a few days.
All right, moving on.
So as you were saying, Lauren, the moonshine, which we did mention earlier, the moonshine,
Previous home of the Diva Theater.
Yes. And that's how I always remembered it. I remembered seeing shows by the Diva Theater in that really nice space, and it's been sitting there closed for years. Some out of town business owner bought it, which is the same.
I think he's in town now, right?
He
lives in town.
No, before he bought it.
So years ago.
This guy.
We're talking like 2002.
Yeah,
maybe.
we're talking the guy who called it the moonshine. I believe he was out of New York or something. He came in, bought it, did one show, place closed down. They never did anything else with it. Sat there for years collecting dust. And Charlie Jefferson, who he is a local developer, I don't know if he might live here now, but he didn't originally.
That's what I thought you were talking about. I'm sorry.
He bought the Connell building and redid that as apartments. He owns the building across
the old
City Hall, the old Chamber of Commerce, and I believe he has a large hand in the pavilion now too.
I believe he owns the mountain.
Yeah. So he's looking to turn that venue around too, which is really great because it's a cool space. It's got a lot of history. As Tom May from the Menzingers noted to me, Frank Sinatra played there at one point.
No way.
Yeah. Like this place, and if you look at the history of the building in general, it's very, very interesting. I mean, it had everything there from vaudeville to performers to at one point it was a Union Hall and it had all these old dances and things there. It was just a really, really cool space. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been touched in many years. So the Menzingers had their holiday show there, which we talked about last week. And it was cool to see the place alive again, you know. And granted, it's not finished yet. I guess they're not finishing the renovations till probably about the spring. But I'm hoping that turns into a new all ages venue where we're going to see more bands coming through and more of the local bands being able to have all ages shows and stuff. And maybe that'll help take the hurt off from things like the Vintage and New Visions and places like that closing down.
Yeah, because I was kind of hoping the onus wasn't going to fall on us.
Well,
I mean, not to be
at this point, it was maybe that award was a hint. You know, like we like your venue so much, do it more.
But you could approach the king under the mountain and see if he'll help you out.
From Lord of the Rings.
No, the person that was a weird Hobbit tie-in joke.
It was.
It was weird and awkward, but I started thinking about The Hobbit and how I spent way too many hours trying to see that this weekend. And I was disappointed.
Were you?
I was. A little bit.
It didn't...
I spent a lot of time trying to...
Did you see the high frame rate 3D? I'm curious about seeing that. I haven't seen it yet.
No, I saw it in 2D because I wear glasses.
So?
I can't wear 3D glasses while wearing my glasses. And if I take off my glasses to wear the 3D glasses, I can't see the movie.
I thought you were supposed to put the 3D glasses over your glasses.
Yeah, and then I've got like it's all sideways and
get
cockeyed.
the LASIK.
I don't need the LASIK.
All right.
Anyway.
Oh, you know what? Jimmy and I watched a really good movie last night. It's called The Guest. Watch it. It's incredible. It's like a throwback to like the 80s action movies. It's so good.
No thanks.
It's so entertaining.
I love 80s action movies. So
that's great. Soundtrack is incredible. Like the performance.
That's one of my favorite parts of it was the soundtrack.
Oh my! From the first like note, like from the first like moment, the cinematography was great. The music was great. The performances were great. If anybody has a chance to see The Guest, I believe it's available for rent tomorrow. We had to buy it.
Oh, okay.
So it's awesome. It might be my favorite movie of the year, besides like Guardians or something like that.
Yeah, that was either that or Captain America: Winter Soldier. It's tough.
Can I say I was incredibly surprised by how good? Because the first one was like,
I liked it.
Yeah, it had its charm.
Yeah,
but like Winter Soldier was like,
Yeah,
holy shit.
it did take it up a notch.
Yeah. And it was like all the good things that I loved about, remember, do you remember a guy named Alan J. Pakula? He was a filmmaker. He did oh my God, All the President's Men.
Okay.
He did all these political films. His last movie, I think, was The Client with Julia Roberts and Denzel. And then he passed away. I forget how he passed away, but he did all these like political thrillers. And I always loved like the style of like how he did it. And he was like the go-to guy for political thrillers. Winter Soldier was one of those movies where it was like, this is,
they said
it's smart and you blow shit up.
They said they were inspired by political thrillers to do the movie.
They had to have, and it's two brothers, right?
Yeah, it's the Russo brothers.
Russo brothers.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers. Yeah. I find it hard to believe that they weren't inspired by all of Alan J. Pakula's work. It was awesome. If you get a chance to see Alan J. Pakula's movies, go check them out. I don't know what to say after that.
What the fork, Mark?
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, the food stuff, which I think is interesting too, because that's to me that's part of their arts and entertainment. It's a whole other art into itself, especially these guys. Yeah,
culinary arts. It is an art form. You engage the sense of taste.
That's right.
And also the visual senses in many cases.
Especially What the Fork and Peculiar Culinary Company. They're both very talented people who...
Gene and Mario.
Yep. So What the Fork was on national TV. They came in second in a food truck cook-off on Live with Kelly and Michael.
There's thousands of food trucks in the country, man. For them to hit number 2.
Right. Yeah, I was really rooting for them, and I didn't. I watched the program, and I was like, I don't know why the other guy won. Like they like freely admitted the other guy was like, oh yeah, I've had this kind of stuff before, and it just seemed like they were more interested in them, but they went with the other guy, and I don't understand why.
Where was the other guy from?
I don't know, to be honest. I can't remember now. It's this was probably over the summer, I want to say.
Now I have a question, being the ignorant one in the group.
Oh, thank God you said it.
Because I don't know these things. Now when I came to this area, I noticed
when I moved to this country.
When I come to your country, when I came here, I immediately noticed What the Fork.
Right.
And I was chasing down food trucks because where I come from, food trucks are
in
ubiquitous.
Like high heels and a handbag.
And running down 315 trying to get to the truck, yes.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, stop the truck! Where I come from, there's food trucks everywhere.
Have falafel.
Right.
And I want to know, is What the Fork the only food truck in this area? No. Where else can I find food trucks?
But I will say that from what I've noticed anyway, when What the Fork came along, then all of a sudden about 100 popped up out of nowhere.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but remember there was that big city council problem where it was like the food trucks, the brick and mortar restaurants were really unhappy with the food trucks.
Right, because
they try to pass like this ordinance where it's like no food truck can be within like 300 feet of a brick and mortar place. And I mean, honestly, like, social media and the people like stepped up. They're like, no.
Yep. Free market.
Let these guys go where they go. Like they're not impeding. They're not hurting anybody. And honestly, like especially downtown, like the food establishments are so diverse.
Right.
You're really not picking into anybody else's business.
Yeah.
If you want a steak, you're going to Van Luger's. If you want, an awesome pork taco, you're going to What the Fork.
Right.
Wait, do they have beef tongue tacos?
I don't know if they have beef tongue tacos. I know I've never put in my mouth anything from What the Fork that was not delicious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm eating.
Let me just say that I love the idea of food trucks.
It's a mac and cheese truck, isn't there?
Because for a food truck to be in business, it is held to a higher standard than most actual brick and mortar restaurants because it's a moving vehicle that serves food. So they actually get inspected much more rigorously than you would think.
As they should.
And then their fines are much steeper.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to run. It's
so much harder.
Yeah, it's much more difficult to run a food truck. And Mario's like, God bless him, man.
Yeah.
know? Not only like they, they're opening up a brick and mortar down in Wilkes-Barre Square, aren't they?
Yep. Sometime next year. I don't think they've have a date for it yet, but yeah, it's next year.
I wish him all the luck in the world. He's such a sweet guy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really great people, and I think they changed the game a little bit of how people do business around here.
You said doo-doo.
Peculiar is the other one that I think is really cool too. Gene Philbin, also a really nice guy, really cool stand-up guy. To me, he's like if Santa Claus was 40 years younger and loved metal. Yeah,
that's Gene Philbin. Like the nicest, most like happy.
Yep. Person. Enthusiastic.
Oh my God.
Loves what he does.
Now, I've heard you talk about his food before.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
it's peculiar.
It is peculiar.
That is one of my favorite words.
Peculiar?
Yes.
It's definitely one of his too. He'll do his big thing is he not only caters and stuff like that, but he does pop-up restaurants, sometimes within other restaurants. Oh. So he just did a series of pop-ups at the River Street Jazz Cafe, which I think everyone sold out. Like they always do. You have to make your reservations in advance, otherwise you usually can't get in. And he gives you kind of an a la carte menu, and you pick what you want, but they're all very odd choices. They're things that are a little bit different. Like they what did I have? I went to one a few weeks ago, and I had a duck grilled cheese. And
that had been amazing.
It was fantastic. It was so cool.
Duck is too greasy for me.
Well, see the thing.
I always hear people say that. I don't understand
greasy.
What kind of duck you're eating.
It is, but it fits in a grilled cheese because grilled cheeses are usually greasy too.
Right, that's true.
So it kind of goes together.
Right, that's true.
Well, it is.
No, I just like, hey, there was such an innocence behind what you said.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's true.
It just makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very like bingo hall grandmother. How you just said that.
Oh, okay.
You didn't get I-35. Yeah, that's true.
But he ended up he was just on Guys Grocery Games on Food Network, and he won. He beat all the competitors, and it was a close race, but I mean he came out on top, and you could see why he's very talented. So he's actually going to be on CNBC's Restaurant Startup.
Oh, really?
Next year. Yeah.
Let's get him on here. He'd do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And
we can talk about food.
He might even bring some food.
I would.
Then we're going to turn into Kelly and Michael. Is that the name of the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be the.
You tell him all the stuff that I eat.
Lauren, I don't even know what you eat. You eat some of the strangest shit
I know.
Ever.
And tell him to bring that.
But I think it's cool that these local chefs are getting this national attention for the stuff they're doing.
I think all the cool. I think all the stuff that we're talking about through totally different ideas of art and culture and food and music and movies and stuff. I think it just goes back to show like, man, there's a lot of cool stuff,
right? Interesting
stuff happening around here, and all you got to do is ask. Yeah, all you got to do is look.
Yep.
Like, what do you want to do? And I mean, your site is one of those things where it's like the hub of and you do your best at it. I mean, there's some things that you miss, but but you're not, you're infallible, or you're not infallible, so you're not perfect. You're not a god yet.
Working on it
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Just
I'm hoping to take the easy way out and just find like an ancient amulet or something that could just transform me into one.
That's worth millions.
Just cool superhero origin type stuff. Yeah.
I've never heard of the superhero who would, like, what power would you have? What would be the power that this amulet, so that you could be, what is this infinity stone that you can get that would give you, because all of those, no matter what movie it is, or what comic book or whatever or what story, those amulets or those like talismans or whatever, they always come with a price.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, what's the price that you think you would pay, and what do you think is the special thing that you're looking for it?
That's why it's tough because most people want the gift of flight because it's just be awesome to fly. But then there's all those things that come with that. If you have wings, then you've got to deal with having wings, and then people think you're an angel, and there's all the religious connotations that go with that, and or just being able to fly in general. That having powers, just people expect that you're going to be doing things for them. Well, you got to use them for good and save the world and stuff like that. So if I got to fly, I'm not just going to be able to just fly to Disney World if I want. There's going to be all these people.
I think you should be the selfish superhero. I think you should be the guy who's like you fly to Garrity's to get groceries because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Yeah,
that'll work for you. Or like, hey, I want to go to Orlando.
Didn't they make that movie?
Huh?
Didn't they make that movie with Will Smith?
Hitch? Or not Hitch?
Hancock.
Hancock?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. At the end of the day, like he ended up, he saved people.
Oh, I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, he was just. You're really referencing a movie like. Didn't they shoot somebody in The Godfather?
I did see an incredible movie this weekend where Will Smith plays Lucifer.
What?
Yeah.
What was that called?
A Winter's Tale.
Isn't it the one with Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
Will Smith is in that?
Yeah. And
what's up with Will Smith doing like these like bit parts now?
It was incredible.
He's probably the biggest movie star on the planet, and he's like, I'm gonna do this small movie.
His last one didn't do too well. The one that he did with his son, that was.
I blame the son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that bad. Okay. You know what I mean? And we just had this conversation. Speaking of underrated movies, I just want to throw it out there in case people haven't ever seen it. M. Night Shyamalan, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever you think about him. His movie Unbreakable was probably one of the best origin comic book movies, I think, considering it was original material.
Oh yeah, it's very well put together, very well shot. Just the whole construction of it is great. Yeah,
his whole career after that,
right? Not so much.
But Unbreakable is probably one of the, I think you said it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think it was, because I think if he put it out now, I think people would be more receptive to it.
Oh, it would be huge.
Yeah,
or it would be like. Because now people are expecting to see, Winter Soldier, Avengers, but he did. And that was the kind of like the thing that I liked about Shyamalan from the beginning was he told like these big stories, but really small.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to have a superhero and a supervillain in a movie and just have it told from the perspective of like their little interactions and to get character development from them. And like you're sympathetic to both characters. You know what I mean?
Isn't he a Pennsylvania guy who like shoots in Pennsylvania and stuff?
M. Night Shyamalan's the guy that when the tax incentives come out, he takes most of them and shoots in Bucks County, PA.
Okay.
So all of his movies, I even think The Last Airbender, which was that big, it was supposed to be like a
big flop.
It was a big flop, but I think they shot most of it in Bucks County on sound stages.
Yeah,
I think they have sound stages in Bucks County now due to M. Night.
Yeah, that sounds about right because it was atrocious.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So, let's see. We got to the food. Oh, the other food story too this year was Eden, a vegan cafe. Lived to see another day. That was a place that they was one of the only vegan cafes in the area. It's definitely the only one was the only one in Scranton for a long time. And
I don't know of another one.
Yeah, I don't think there is. And he was going to close down, and he kind of got saved by a crowdfunding campaign. And so that they're still open and still doing business. And I think they're bigger now than they ever were. They're more popular now because there's more awareness about them. Yes, bless you.
Okay.
No, I think that's that's the thing. It's like a lot of these places around here like don't. I don't know. Like when the vintage went, went away, and I think for Connor and Teresa, and not to be, I don't want to personally talk about them, but I think, I think that ran its course for them.
Yeah,
and I think that that chapter closed, and I think they needed to move on to bigger and better things. So it was almost like, to me, I mean, on the outside looking in, it seemed to me like it was a blessing in disguise for them.
For them personally.
For them personally, yeah.
Yeah.
I think and I don't think that everybody understands like how hard it is to do what they did.
Yeah,
it's that's not a job; it's a way of life.
Especially at their age too.
Yeah, Connor started when he was 16.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 16. He started all that up, and Teresa was, I mean, Jimmy, Jesus, you saw Teresa delve into that because you and her are chums.
Mm-hmm. I remember when she started it.
Yeah, and I think what were we talking about?
The just the vintage in general, or
what were we talking about before? Where
Vegan
I segued.
cafe.
Oh yeah,
the vegan cafe.
Christian's a great guy, and for him to keep doing what he's doing. And look, I am not a vegan. Maybe one day. It takes a hell of a discipline,
right?
To do that. To our other guy that works here, Angelo, man, he's a total vegan, and all he eats is like peanuts and like I feel
soy
bad.
sauce or soy
soy sauce. I kind of like feel bad, but he's totally he's committed. But Eden did when we had the great party video release here, which is a real fun time for HO Mexico. Christian catered it, man. Like he brought food up here, and I was like, I'm not really a vegan, but I'm starved. And it was delicious, man. Like his food is just delicious. I think there's a little TLC in it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I wish them all the luck, man. That whole stretch of Adams is right. That might be the new hotbed for.
So it's like a renaissance there. Loyalty open up their second location there. They have the barber shop. There's the Bog. Now
Embassy
Vinyl, Moonshine.
Yeah, that block is just
now,
like
Leonard. So there's a lot going on. Just that little block there.
I'm finding it harder to find parking over there.
Yeah, exactly for that reason. Yeah.
Well, they should do it like they do. Like you park your. Do you ever see those machines where like you park your car and then it like goes into like a lift and then it goes into? It was in Mission Impossible 4. I don't know if you saw that.
I've parked in those.
Those are cool.
No, they're terrible.
All right. I thought it's just cool to look at. I never wanted to put my car in there.
Yeah,
but I was
you don't
like,
want to put your car in that.
Yeah, it's like a jukebox for cars.
For cars, yeah.
It's pretty neat. Like the CD ones, not like the touch tunes.
No, we're just gonna buy property to make a triple deck parking lot or something.
Let's do it.
Let's just do that.
Let's do it. Let's start an Indiegogo to build a parking garage.
And we will valet.
Yeah.
We'll valet.
For tips.
Yeah.
All right.
So and arts wise, Arts on Adams was an art incubator, and that unfortunately didn't stay open. So they closed earlier in the year, and it was a great idea though to have basically for artists to have a space where they could go and they could just rent a small space in this incubator and show off their stuff and things like that. But the art scene around here is strong with First Friday and stuff like that, and I think it's something that we'll probably maybe when the weather gets nice, we'll do maybe a podcast on that sort of scene in general. I think is interesting
on location.
Just
cool shit. Jimmy, we got to pick up the rig.
Yeah, it's got wheels. We could drag that thing anywhere.
We're gonna have to go downtown and do 3-minute interviews with artists and stuff like that. We'll just sit on the square. Not in January.
No,
I don't think they do it in January.
Yeah,
I think they take January as the coldest month and they just wait until February.
Well, we could just sit out there and talk to nobody except for each other and talk about how cold it is.
No, it'd be awesome. It'll be awesome just to do it and just like whoever's like walks by. Yeah,
that could be dangerous.
What's the worst that can happen? We're uncensored.
I don't know. Somebody could take the rig right away from us.
Well, I mean,
Don't
if there's
be scared.
a crime,
I'll be there,
like,
Jimmy.
that'll be funny.
Right.
Yeah, for you. I'd be out of business.
We'll make it work.
But the pop-up studio, however, did get some national attention. They were on HuffPo and all those for their
The pothole thing, wasn't it?
yeah, for their pothole thing. That was pretty cool.
When was this?
Over the summer?
Yeah, over the summer.
Yeah.
They did. I would say I think it was 2012. They did an exhibit called "Pothole: Positively Filling Negative Space," and they were taking potholes and filling them with different things, and most of them were funny. Just like a silly take on the fact that people complain about the potholes around here, and then they kind of opened it up this past year to a public contest, and so people sent in all these different things and stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was cool, and some of them were on billboards and stuff around town. So if you're one of those people who didn't end up getting to see it in person, you could see it that way, or you can see them online.
I'm really sad that I missed this, because in high school, in my last year before I turned from a minor to an adult, I really, 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 really wanted to fill in some potholes with what looked like lava, just like paint it in. Like that's what I wanted to do as when I could still be considered a juvenile in case I got caught. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't do it.
Can you? That's your grand ambition.
That was my ambition when I was 17.
What would you fill it in with?
Paint. It was paint.
Oh, paint.
But I wanted to paint it like lava.
Oh, okay.
So because you can't step in the lava, It was the cars, so the cars would have to avoid it, and it would be actually make it easier for them to avoid the potholes.
So
specifically on Grand Avenue by Kinderkamak and Montvale, I was like, I wanted to paint that whole road because it was full of potholes.
So when they hit the paint, it would splash, or
no, they would just be able to miss it because you can't touch the lava.
Does every driver know that game?
I think every person should know you don't touch the lava. Like the red,
Who
the
would
red
be
squares of
responsible
lava.
for a head-on
don't
collision?
touch the lava.
Right.
I'm hoping Lauren.
What are you talking about?
Well, who would be responsible for a head-on collision?
Lauren, I don't think you thought your plan through.
That's why I wanted to do it as a juvenile.
Oh my god!
I was thinking just fill it in with sand or dirt. Right?
Well, I mean or modified.
That's what you would normally.
Anyway, what I'm saying is I'm sad that I missed this public contest.
Yeah,
because
you could have put lava in there.
I totally could have painted a pothole.
You could Google it. There was some really creative stuff.
Yeah, there was some fun ones.
Yeah.
There's one with candy and a girl's eating candy out of it and stuff. And
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. Some funny ones, and then just general stuff that happened during the year. There was the Sunny Rest Resort in the Poconos is a nudist resort, and they also made national news and stuff because they had a nude beer festival where nudity was required. You had to walk around nude in certain parts of the resort to attend, and it was just a fun, quirky story. Like nothing particularly crazy, because I mean this place has been around for it was close to 20 years or something, like 16, 17 years, something like that. So they have been around a long time. So I don't know why this particular, out of all the events they do year round, was the one that people latched onto, but it was. So a lot of people talked about that this year.
Jimmy, would you ever go to a nudist colony?
I would only go with clothes on, and I don't feel like that's fair, so I would say no.
What would it take for you to go without clothes on?
A big sensor bar. A big
Fair
sensor
enough.
bar.
Fair enough. That would be funny.
Yeah,
that wasn't a compliment to myself. I'm just saying a big sensor bar.
You gotta have a lot of confidence.
It was to help other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of these things too, they're just they're regular everyday people. So you're not going to see a lot of supermodels.
No. Elle McPherson is not going to be there, and you're like, damn.
Right.
It's like, oh, my grandma. Damn.
Well, I guess that's where the beer comes in.
Yeah, I don't drink, so
yeah. Well,
that's going to be burned in the retinas till the end of my days. Guess what you saw? Naked 90-year-old. Never getting that back.
No.
This is why you're not in the healthcare profession.
No, as I light up another smoke. No. Jimmy, thanks for letting me smoke in here.
Oh,
anytime. My vape.
Anytime.
This is how you try to quit smoking. You lose your vape, and you're like, well, I can fall back.
So you the fact that you're chain smoking, I'm sure it means you had a really great holiday.
I had a rough. It's been a rough couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have. Lauren is the only one who seems pretty chipper about her
You can't
holiday.
read Lauren. You know what I mean? Lauren is. I don't even know how to describe her. She's like You're like the monolith from 2001, man. Like I don't know, like what you're thinking. To me, you're like a mystery wrapped inside of a riddle.
Wrapped inside some bacon?
That's why. That's partially why. Because I never know what you're thinking. I never know like what's next. Because you'll say to me something like, "We need to talk," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then when you tell me it, and I'm like, "That's it." Like the walls of Jericho are gonna like in my mind. I'm like, "This is the end of Lauren and mine friendship," and it's like, I think I want to get Chinese food. And I'm like, that's what you wanted to talk to me about? And you're like, yeah, I really didn't want to make you mad about that. I'm like, why? So that's why to me, I never know what's going to happen next. I never know what you're thinking. And you always keep me on my toes. And I appreciate that. I'm happy we get to do this so that the world gets to experience that.
Oh,
I mean that in the nicest way. And you're like, and my favorite part about you is your thesaurus-like knowledge and your encyclopedic knowledge of stuff that blows my mind.
Except for local things.
Yeah, you know shit.
I don't
about
know.
local.
I don't know anything.
You have contributed
Nothing.
9 to this.
No, I don't know.
Instead of going like your contribution to all this was like who
what? Huh?
What's that?
Well, maybe
I know
maybe
in Jersey.
Maybe it helps if I ask because maybe some of our listeners don't know.
No, I think the only, but I think if we all came into this knowing what we know, and knowing all this shit, like it's not interesting. I'm not saying like the last hour has been interesting. It's just us, recapping, the year. But I think you have to have somebody come in with some naivete about what's going on to continue the conversation instead of Rich going like, "What the fork is good," and I go, "Yes, it is."
Oh,
yeah. And then like that's the end of the conversation.
One more thing about what the fork.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go?
I gotta go.
Okay. Toyota of Scranton is having the truck there all Saturday. I think it's 11 to 6. They're giving away free food all day as kind of a thank you to the community sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll have to stop by and get some free What the Fork. I think the only other things that were just general stuff. There was the TED Talks in Scranton, which was cool that we had that. And the Apparently kid that was on WNEP, the kid who just he was just saying funny stuff. He kept saying the word apparently, which is where he got the nickname, and then they put him on national television.
Milked that kid.
Oh yeah,
I did not like that.
He was on Ellen DeGeneres. I think he even did a commercial. Like he was on everything.
Yeah, he was on Ellen like a whole bunch of times.
Yeah,
good for NEP for giving that kid its opportunity. But man,
yeah, they did.
And I like Ellen, but man, they just they saturated.
It got old quick. Yeah.
He's still adorable and he's still cute, but like small doses, man.
And you didn't even hear about him?
I don't know who he is. No.
That might be a good thing because any time that stuff blows up, then you get either the opposite. You get one reaction where they're like, I want to hear it all the time, kid? Or they don't want to hear about
dinosaurs. It at all. Like that's how he talked. He's adorable. He's totally cute. He's totally cool.
He's like the Turtles kid.
I like turtles.
No, that kid was
turtles.
like, I like turtles.
Yeah.
Like that one.
I like
no,
that.
he's
I like
not.
that kid.
No, the Apparently kid. It seemed like he was a 90-year-old trapped in like a 6-year-old's body. It was amazing, but I think they overdid it. And that's just me. Do you want to wish good wishes to everybody? And
yeah, to me, my my favorite part of the year personally was just being able to start this journey to found NEPA Scene and do something that I always wanted to do and never had the opportunity to do. And it just kind of got thrust on me. It was something where, life just took me there. And it's not where I thought it would be at the beginning of the year, but
is it ever?
No, it never is. It never is. I could do without the financial instability, but mentally I feel a lot better about everything. I'm doing stuff that I actually care about and believe in, and this opportunity has been great too, because I used to do podcasts years and years ago, and nobody around here listened to them. I mean, they were around, other people listened to them from around the country, but we had nobody that here would listen because nobody knew what the hell a podcast was. And to an extent, they still don't. They still haven't exactly caught on here the way that they should have, or the way that they have in the rest of the country. But we're hoping to change that.
I mean, for me, Jimmy and Lauren, I don't mean to speak for them. I can just speak for me. I think we all agree the same thing, that we're really proud of you, and we're really excited about what you're doing. And damn the man, save the empire. Do not relent. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
And we're here for you.
Well, I appreciate you opening up your studio to doing this. This is a lot of fun.
We told you when you left the mothership, man. We're here for you. Whatever you need, brother.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is awesome, and I couldn't be prouder, and I couldn't be short of making out.
Right. Sure.
My feelings for you are very high.
Well, I've always appreciated back to when I met you years ago as a reporter doing a story on 25/8.
On that shit.
Yeah. On the start of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So I've followed you through the years, and I've always enjoyed what you guys have done. So I think it's cool to be a collaborator now too. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to collaborate with you guys.
We're honestly we're welcome to have you. And as far as what we're doing for 2015, at 25 Ocho, there's some stuff that you got to keep your eye out for. I think there's some really exciting things. We announced Tommy Graham, but we got a couple other things in the bag, especially on the studio side with, and it's the stewed at 25/8. It's, Jimmy's his own thing.
Like a stud with an E.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to, I'm not the overlord of Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Am I?
No, I don't think so. I don't feel like it.
Yeah. I'm not, I just, Jim, we're life partners. We're partners as friends.
Right.
Right. We're partners in every manner of the word. And I love you to death.
By the end of this podcast, we're all skipping off into the sunset holding hands.
Exactly.
Put it that way.
Can we end it with Chariots of Fire?
Please.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
No, Jim, sincerely, man.
True.
The last year
Same here.
for you has been awesome. Lord knows I've made my mistakes, and I'm trying to make up for them. What I'm doing.
Same here. We all learn and move on.
Yeah, but I think 2015, I'm optimistic. I'm really optimistic and excited.
How about you, Lauren?
And scared.
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, Lauren's over there going like, I'm going to go to what the fork?
I'm gonna eat some sandwiches and plan a vacation.
And pour lava into holes.
Oh, I'm still gonna do that.
All potholes
You have
all
no
over
idea.
the place.
We should totally do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
All right, babe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good goal.
I haven't taken a vacation since 2003.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're due.
Jimmy takes a vacation like every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Jimmy thinks he's like the CEO of, he thinks he's Richard Branson.
I don't know who that is.
He owns Virgin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Jimmy has like an island down off of South America somewhere. It's private. He owns it. On the island is a lot of vending machines, and
of course, and Coke machines,
and multiple flavors of ice cream, and YouTube, because that's
YouTube,
yeah. And then that's Jimmy's heaven.
And I get back and forth by riding a UFO.
Or Rich's superpower wings.
Right.
Rich gives you rides. Rich gives you flights.
That power, by the way, the one that I would probably go with is the healing factor. I would like
Healing?
like Wolverine.
Like Wolverine?
Yeah. Because you also extend your life for a long period of time. The thing that you pay for is the fact that you have to watch everyone you love die.
Yeah.
And you live on.
I would give my left leg from the knee down to be omnipresent.
Hmm.
I don't know what that means.
To be everywhere.
I went to
Everywhere,
public
all at
school.
once.
All at once.
So you want to be like Professor Xavier
Yeah, kind of.
because he puts on Cerebro.
Probably more like Doctor Strange because he can project himself.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, which I'm really excited to see him
Yeah.
as Doctor Strange. Very
Yeah.
cool.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Too bad that's not in 2015.
I think it's next year though.
Mostly I want to get
So
rid of it.
isn't it like the year after, I think?
I don't know. They released the schedule, and I just did the thing that I hoped I never did.
What's that?
Benedict Cumberbatch had 2 roles in The Hobbit.
I know. No, I don't. He was Schmaug,
Mm-hmm.
and
I can't say unless.
in the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see it. So is that it?
Yeah, I mean that's
we wrapped up.
Yeah, I think.
What are we
going
gonna
to
do next year, man? It's only a week away.
We right, yeah, we're talking about it like we're no, it honestly I have a lot of things planned. We're really, I mean, when I say we're just getting started, it's such a cliche, but we really are. Like this is just the stuff that we're doing now is tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of stuff that I have planned coming up for 2015 that I think is really going to change the way that people look at media and content and the way that it's presented in this area. We're gonna have fun, and we're gonna do things that I think are gonna be not necessarily revolutionary, but things where it's like, why didn't anyone do this sooner? Those types of things.
And we're gonna have a lot of special, interesting guests. It's not just gonna be us sitting around.
No,
we're in a living room smoking a hookah.
We're already like I get a lot of messages from people looking to do the show, and so just January already we have a variety of guests coming up. So there's some interesting stuff to look forward to on the podcast in general. I think is going to grow and develop, and we'll probably come up with more segments. We'll probably get more of a regular format. If maybe that's what people want. Do you guys want a regular format, or do you want to see more of this kind of freestyle kind of stuff? Let us know. That's what the comments are for. You can comment on the SoundCloud page. You can comment on our the NEPAscene.com, Facebook, Twitter, however
YouTube.
you want to.
You can even comment on YouTube.
Yep. When the YouTube videos
Make
go
sure you
up.
subscribe.
Yes, please do.
Subscribe to the NEPA Scene podcast.
and tell people, because
or just NEPA Scene in general, right?
Yeah,
It's NEPA Scene on YouTube.
that's right.
Yeah.
All of our social media is the same. It's /NEPA Scene. So it's real easy to find us everywhere, and we are everywhere at this point. Even on Instagram, we're on Instagram too.
I just Instagrammed. I want to just give a little thanks to Jimmy for doing this.
Oh, anytime.
I'm happy you can participate, and I'm happy you can execute.
Well, that's what the NEPA scene is all about. It's about helping each other in the community, whether it's music, film, arts, entertainment, anything.
That's right.
And I'm also thankful for Jared Tobin for putting the videos together.
Yeah, because that's a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
doing this, for
We're-
less than nickels.
Yeah,
So,
right. Yeah, we're all doing this because we believe in it. And that's the main. I think that's why we've seen the support that we have just in the few months that we've been around. The outpouring of support has been overwhelming, and a lot of that is just due to the fact that it's like not only are the stuff that we're doing good and well put together, but people feel like there's a real story behind it. It's not just some corporate entity telling you how to feel about things or deciding what content makes it out there and what doesn't. It's people who actually are embedded in the community that care about the community.
and I think the four of us especially are also so diverse in our ways of thinking and what we're passionate about, that it kind of it blends to a very good, 4 totally different ingredients that makes a really good cake. You know what I mean?
All right.
So, do we know who our guest is next week?
Yes. Our guest next week will be a gentleman named Rich Perry, who he does a column for us every week on Mondays, which just came out today, actually, called Strength and Focus. And he is a health and wellness coach, life coach. And
So I probably shouldn't be smoking next to him.
he'll coach you out of it. He'll convince you that it's bad for you. That's what he does.
Let's try that.
Yeah. And he also
He can coach me out of smoking, man. It's worth a shot.
He's also one of the guys behind the May Day Festival every year in Wilkes-Barre, which is a music festival that's been going on for the past few years. And so he's a musician as well. So he actually has a conference coming up at the Hilton in Scranton, and basically to how to help you follow through on your New Year's resolutions and improve your life in many different ways.
Oh my God, I need to. This is going to be like a therapy session.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting because it's going to.
I might put him with you and lay on the futon.
It'll definitely be a more personal podcast. Where
is he going to like call us out on crap?
I don't think so.
I think he should.
He's a nice guy, but I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think being honest to me isn't rude.
Sure,
I can call you out on crap, and
I know you're going to do it after this.
Yeah, he can.
Still waiting for that shit. So
we'll.
I think I speak for all of us. For those who do listen, it's greatly appreciated, and we hope you listen every week. The videos go live every Friday.
Right.
The podcast goes live every Tuesday, and we're gonna do a lot more exciting things, such as musicians, and maybe we can get Gene in here to whip us up something nice.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, hey, here's how to make chicken salad. I'm sure it'll be delicious. Like, we don't have to bring in like a hot plate for him to like cook, but
only if you can do it with the offal.
With the what?
With the offal. He'll know what I'm talking about.
All right.
I think he should come in and teach us some crock pot recipes.
You're all about the crock pot.
Yeah, because it's like you set it and forget it. And that way it'll be beneficial to us as well.
Crock pots are awesome.
So
I'm all about lazy cooking, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about lazy, healthy cooking.
I just had a crock pot meal tonight, actually. So
yeah, that's the way to go. Set it in the morning, and then you come home to it nice and warm.
I don't trust that.
Well,
I really, it frightens me.
We'll put it outside.
All right. So do you want to thank you all for paying attention and listening? And we love all of you, and we look forward to you loving us back.
Stay safe, have fun this New Year's Eve, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.